This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
Maybe I do. Yanko.
Okay. Do you know? I did pack also be at yes, and say, Emrofono said you almost see Junene how almost see Hunyaman, and yet the same to said ye was in name.
Sir.
Yes. You play as be or Tim now woman, would be a babadi will no move. Time of Francesco Totti season. Sad time, he was good enough to play for any top team in the world.
Okay, Totti.
Yes. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, name the teams. Totti was good enough to play for all the top teams in the world. Opia Banasuye, Francesco Totti, and Mouvu Ankobebia. Daniel De Rossi, time was seasonal. At that time, he was good enough to be a pivot for most teams in the world. Otana Roma wa. Team be na amba for Daniel De Rossi. Inti general obi wo hɔ a. Baby a ɔte no, wo de obeka se o e team ketwa, aditi no nkobo team kese. Opeso ja a certain legacy e wo.
Okay.
Time Sandro Mazzola ba Inter no. At that time he was good enough to play for any team. He says Inter and Inter is all. Inti sana players ni bi ehu ade. Hurricane general time we see so no. The last time Hurricane decided say oh move on to Bayern Munich. Inti Nico Williams de no. E de na Ike Munian anye on Bilbao. Iko Munian tena Bilbao sa. Otena Bilbao sa. Ball pia obi bo ewo the Spanish La Liga ni Ike Munian a boy. But he says no way. It is Sahana Mrofuni Buha omotie. For the Nico Williams deal, it is not as if the money was available and the boy decided not to come. And for Daniel Omodiano and Farmer to Nico Williams. The release clause was available. No be a chain, Sebasabe Kofo. Now one reporter say, they could not take over the deal. When Timian concluded the deal, no, Oma convinced us all on tonight. Oma catcher say, Omo bin kahon, Nesika Omunya from American Laporte. Sika omunya from under Herrera. Ono so omunya bin free home. Hwe sika omunya for Kepa. And you know, this is a boy Ghana ni ayakwa wo na brochiri. E ho na ya reason no academia na wabo and wabo to the very top. Inti e ho na on problem wa e also move out. Inti for now the guy had decided to stay. The Barcelona where you and Crafts sir e ka say. So because of pro ni kwasa odwene home yi no eniema sesa kakra. That was the dream team of Julio Salinas, Hristo Stoichkov, Pep Guardiola, Romario Di Faria Souza. System na
Yeah.
And the Barcelona of old isn't the Barcelona of today. Okay. And it's the Kasama Babi issue. Enra Frankie Dion presentation on Moboni in the Barcelona supporters ni huru no. Adeya almost see Jessica Hunu, Sikaka Kakani, Tiamano, o free team no nko. The system has clearly changed. It players need to be how bepe so better na baby opportunity. Now the same thing apply to Abrante Ferrejo Bemendi. Said Liverpool na course on Abrante or the TV screen. Almost on pivot because Gravenberch at the end of the omode mom na enough. Into team na na slot o shisha no on person omode bebo 6. Liverpool ya already say 52 million euros na e share the clause mu no general obubetia. Abrante na ka yes a kire om. Na omo pushi ya. Coach I friend Emmanuel Aguasil odo na ye coach for Real Sociedad. Eni Abrante na tena ase. E na o kan nsemiensa kire no. O say number 1. Eniane a ewo the Basque region ho, ewo the Samba Sebastian ho no. Se okọ England a onya sa enuane no. Number 2. Baby a omo e o San Sebastian ho omo ko ji o mani no. Sa ni ji no. Omo friend Mount Ulia.
Yeah.
So okọ San Sebastian omo areas miensa omo ji o mani. You know Mount Ulia na ewo TV so.
Okay.
Sanka yeti hey ye ni nkan ye pese ye kodwedwe ho ano anse yate asim.
Okay.
The PEPE a okoye.
Okay.
Nti it is either Mount Ulia, Mount Ugeldo or Mount Uguel miensa.
Okay.
We need the least one tourist no omo ba ho saa. Nti o pese okoji wani a o ma ho so anu awuram na okoji wani. ɔsɛ ɔba England ya wei aberanteɛ ne ba Liverpool kurom ha ɔnya bi
nsuo no atwa mountain no ho ahyia.
yes ɛne gye a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔgye sɛ ne ho dodo no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔgye n'ani a ɔba England a ɔnya bi ɔnsan kae sɛ waka kyerɛ supporters no after the Euros no sɛ he's no moving from team a friend Real Sociedad ɔbɛtena San Sebastian hɔ a aberanteɛ nsɛ pam no ɔtwa no ɔnkɔ Liverpool he is staying. You know, sir reason so say me kwabna me te he ya me free me krom bo anim ya sir reason me de komo obi wa em say hwe o me bekam kra to amne mo kwa so
omububu oyi ni nyina.
yes said duan intimate na
billboard nyina omubu no
enti that is brony for you or not there or you okay with this reason aduane kwanti na de no mo na wa ha na to bi kwa abrochira yentimi ni but coach na convince na o say o stay for these 3 reasons. Sana mrofotie o tie tie na odwene ho anyi but sana system etie and you must accept it.
Do it now forever?
Well, it depends. But that is possible. And you know, omo pay omo due to a certain level no decide say I'm moving. Okay. That's all. And omo free chrome ho. Inti na pressure you almost to move. I go as pass call Liverpool buy. You know on this Celta Vigo ho. Oti chrome ya na pressure dey of fame general. Imagine say Rashford nkoye foreign and Obama United. Imagine say Sterling or foreign and Obo Chelsea. Sabo no mo body ma Chelsea ni Man United. You know nkomo do ma to apaso o mo horo o mo tetetetem. Enti eno na ya na mabibu decide say they will not move, they will stay and they will stay forever. Okay. Now obi sa send a message bi sa say Chelsea mo signings na mo ya you know I see transfers to Chelsea ni wumpa. Yeah. You see mo bam.
Ah ma sign why.
That was started and was an you. See, what mobile? What they say me about?
Okay.
Obisi strategic mind being a one who went to Chelsea. Sign is anyone can say. So one here, Obaka Chelsea sign it be brave. Goalkeepers are what Chelsea say young watch. In all, Chelsea are signing 45 players, but players need be brave at the cost Strasbourg. First, on not Chelsea or Mutim Ketwa. Vitesse Hanem and again FC20 top players and our players from Nketwonim now the players ne France inti you know two things one medical ka say so player ni grow or South America ho now basra you should be ready to pay 50 70 80 so FC Porto Benfica Sporting Lisbon ekofa players ne de ba no obisa say Ramirez bo motor ne say no obisa say David Luiz bo motor ne say no obisa say Enzo Fernandez bo motor ne say enti general uni anything abeka ho asem for Chelsea 3 players omo nyina free Benfica ne buy no say omo nyina bo na say na netie at that time na ne bo na edi enti Chelsea e plan ne say ye ntwen ma Benfica nkofa and they were developing team to say Strasbourg go ho ye nya quick mumu nkofa players them form umra said ya beya Europeans nin team ntwa ebiew because Enzo played just 14 games in the Portuguese league and now the Champions League akra bi ka ho Enzo boy ya botere wa obetu ahwe Brighton ekofa Moise Caicedo bae omokofa Mitoma bae no hwe na bu omo de atwa nkrofo nti Chelsea decide say omo so kwa akoye na team bank ofa amfa ma teams na ma metwa omo. But the problem of Chelsea is that here already made players in the first team. It is all here already made players in the first team. That is the problem of Chelsea. And now Chelsea team replace Thiago Silva. Chelsea here striker. Chelsea need problem with their midfield because so Enzo, so Caicedo, so Lavia. Here midfielders be build because Copa Maccabi team asabo until no say Conor Gallagher nko. Conor Gallagher brings a different profile to their midfield but almost say onko. Into Chelsea problem they say enko here Osimhen enko here Cristiano Romero e wo chire ni animu na chire ho ayire pampe na nka animu ho ayese but wo ho adon mawura mu Brazil so omkofa Grêmio akra bi wo ha no mawura mu Corinthians so omkofa obi akra bi eno na the problem of Chelsea. But for me, the plan to sign those young players so that Monaco, Sergio Porto, Benfica, Sporting Lisbon will not take the lead. No more the Ababe and outrageous money, no, for me, is a good plan. And again, Paul West Stanley Mono Sergio, ye masters of the young lads. Hunting for talent. Omunya masters so omo come market akofa already made stars na aba.
Okay.
Omunya esua the plan of Vidajo Munchi and eno na aboa ma Sevilla previously. Omo timi are for a long time. That is the plan for Chelsea. But the most unfortunate thing is that Chelsea here 2-3 players. Certain positions are also already made and almost come from crab. But general Chelsea are in the market. See, almost say Conor Gallagher brought back. The team say Conor Gallagher brought back. Conor Gallagher did 5 days Madrid. Or the Madrid, one of the ATM hotels the problem is that initially na Chelsea person sikana na omode kwa kofa Samu Omorodion says kana na person obodi tua Conor Gallagher esika no nanka etimi pay for ATM to register him. That is the plan. And ATM for so omon pene dabi sika omo ye so omon ebeje no enye Samu Omorodion sika asem. They are not ready to accept that particular money. Chelsea for no so omna na oba on the team na team on your training in the main team on the team being a better training. But anope almost they say Joao Felix they are ready to pay 65 million pounds. They are ready to pay 65 million pounds for Abrantia. Your friend Joao Felix. Intino Joao Felix dino si Genoa sana ho insem etie. Chelsea wa Newcastle for decided say Pedro Neto abadia na chese no de maduke ho beka. Because Raheem Sterling there Chelsea for e ba say you wepen no e ye ho nsem ne ba ye kwa omungura mu bia inti Raheem Sterling mudruke nso omonte ne ho asem bia inti Miguel Amero mbeko dia eni omo befa no de maduke no aba be she Miguel Amero anem e wo the right side sanso na Crystal Palace aba for Kani Chuku Emeka you know Crystal Palace omo pechuku Emeka in their midfield inti e ho anso ye Chelsea. Now Romelu Lukaku beto Osimhen deal no when sign Chelsea chachire o ma relax it but Lukaku said you 7.5 million euros na ogeno afi we dey wate so o person obo Napoli into the about 6 million euros and no any sika Abrante fan Romelu Lukaku decided say obetimi age na watena Napoli and the moment Lukaku betra no e chese e kwan dem for team a your friend your friend Chelsea to accept Osimhen no metua e de akwakofa Abrante no eti general don so ne other transfers free or and so edeba. Now
Newton has finally been vindicated. He said getting players from the Basque region is extremely difficult, but all of you were arguing and thought it was Barca who didn't have money. Newton, collect your stone. Kuba one and the way ever. Munina Mukai say Ska Barcelona Indi into the Ma Branty and Solano or down a war Atletico Bilbao. But Abranti says finally Newton I vindicated. Now a very difficult Obenya player free Basque region.
KEPE free. Emery Laporte free.
Was a difficult one.
So there was no vindication. Inigo Martinez free. My bought 3 players. I'm free Basque region. And I do not have Newcastle striker and they say, what's his name? Isaac. Is not from this San Sebastian. In Tinkrofoko Kutobi. Usika. It is not as if those players don't move. And Krofoko Kutobi. Under Herrera of free. Only to free. In Tinkrofoko Kutobi. Usika. You know his car. And those players were overpriced. She Laporte. She Kepa. Under Herrera. It is a matter of money. Transfer market in Neno. So Okonas also pay player. Sikane also are ready to pay. And nothing else. It is not as if play don't move from San Sebastian, play don't move from the Basque region. Amount will move, but you should be willing to pay. And Barca don't have the financial money to pay.
Difficult aspect in Kahwana. Extremely difficult. And no who you from Kahwana. Is it not true?
Do you know? It's extremely necessary. Extremely necessary. And Grofako Febi. It's a being Kofe there. And I've given you about 4 players. And Grofongo fire now. Oh my Kofa. And you know, I'm surprised people don't want to accept that Barca don't have money. They've demonstrated it. Barcelona and Chelsea, they don't have money. What is news about that? Jews condemn Rafinha. Said you, Oman Kotana Spain Chiranza no Munyeska, Edia Barbitua. And that deal, it was a master stroke from Matthew Alemani. It is the reason why Obia kasa de kwaesru. Basa niska, what is news about that? Basa don't have money, and that is a fact. It is not as if Oko Basque region ho offer Deportivo Alaves, offer Real Sociedad, offer Bilbao, Obin Koto player and free ho.
Okay.
Basa ankasa Koto player free ho. And Inigo Martinez. Manchester City a offer player free ho. Man United a offer player free ho. So what else? Okay. You know that is it.
Todd Boehly and his management should do everything possible to get us Victor Osimhen. With Osimhen up front, I have deep confidence that we can compete for the league title. Anyway, just 3 weeks to the start of the season, we, the supporters of Accra Heart to Folk, are still struggling to know the outgoing players and the players we are going to sign for the season. Our board should act quickly. Zekov Mohammed.
Oh dear. The company always have for the penny for so. Now you know what? Danny Murphy say Mazrai and then delete will not make United better. Asema Danny Murphy Eddie Abano. Forget about it.
If the teams from that region want the players, they won't move. Those players Andy is mentioning were not their kingpins. Koba one. And as I do, we have
also say not
players now. Yeah,
Emery Clapper. He was their best centre back. Now on your kingpin. He was their best centre back. Under Herrera, he was their best midfielder. And Kepa was no key. The number one goalkeeper was no key. You know, how many goalkeeper no key. You know,
Koba one.
Javi Martinez buying 40 million.
40 million pounds. 40 million euros. Your dear Jumanima, your Hanks, and will say one player pet. So I'm Tony Baba and Monica. He will win them the Champions League.
Okay.
Someone catch a buyer for him. And a buyer spent 40 million euros for fun. He won the Champions League for them.
Pepe Suarez.
Sergio.
Suarez Pepe.
Sergio.
That is a
Adam boss. I think the emphasis ought to be
Pepe Suarez.
even made on the Javi Martinez deal.
Yeah.
And 40 million euros, no. Open sort of took proper perspective when he party as 2013.
Yeah.
And if you paid in 2013, you paid 40 million euros. A share how exorbitant that price was.
Okay.
Inti, I agree with Andy. So generally, team be a player at or adding.
Okay.
But the general principle now Andy espoused on the plane is about the money. Inti, Job Hanks had lost the Champions League to your Chelsea. Now Bayern lose Champions League in 2013.
Okay.
The coach requested for one player. Also, Javi Martinez.
Yeah.
Bayern hierarchy and everything to give him that player, and he will win the Champions League. And truly, when they gave him Javi Martinez, he won the Champions League in 2014.
Okay.
Or the Champions League in the bound.
Yeah.
And no question is that Team Bien Wabakas any player at all, anything. Yamfa Jean Michel Ola, open player, Obre, open Napoli player. Now go share the president of Napoli, De Laurentiis. Nasamode. Daniel Levy, when you want to buy a player from Tottenham Hotspur, but at the end of the day, the players will still move. The players will still move. Sergio, and the general principle is about the money. Etibra and go for Gary Bale in England. Or shall I say the men to my English club is can open. When Madrid able to over 100 million euros, no release player. It's about the money, not necessarily that they won't sell.
Hurricane any other crown.
Hurricane the same thing. He wanted the money, and Hurricane at his age, if you sell him for over 100 million, that is the sort of AAC kind of movie. I'm sure if Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal had offered the same amount in England, he would have still released the player because he was looking for money. Player top Basque regional. Of course, the Basque people, of course, Spain it's Catalan. They see themselves as a different country within Spain as a country. And they have their own national team, but the overriding principle is that when you are willing to pay and meet their demands, the player will move.
Okay.
And the Kepa Arrizabalaga, at the time he was coming to Chelsea, a campaign for Athletic Bilbao, and then all the teams looking for the boy, Nico Williams. If somebody had offered crazy money, Sergio, they will release him.
Okay.
Problem is, at the time they renewed the contract of Nico Williams at the 58 million release clause in shame. That was the valuation then.
All right.
They feel that today, based on euros, the valuation no on a cheaper side for them.
Sure.
And they've been able to convince the boy. If you read about the history of the Inaki family, the Williams family, anyhow, they feel that eternally grateful to the club. And that's a boy in a movie as a joke movie.
Okay.
But when the Williams Inaki Mumame, Enyem, no more a free Liberia. And because Tokwa and the Diomaba, ebe PM as a Nipa or refugees and Tokwa and Jomafi or Mukroma PM. Anyhow, they were accepted by that community. Then how they were integrated into the team, the boy feels that on Peso baby say, okay, this is my buyout clause. If he gives Barcelona the go ahead, say activate it.
Okay.
The boy will have to move. But on Peso baby be a show disrespect and also ungratefulness to the club. But if Barcelona say offer today 100 million, the boy will move. Eventually, they want to extend his contract, then increase the release clause from 58 to about 200 and something. If Barcelona next year are willing to pay 100 to 120, eventually they will sell the boy. So what is it? It's about the money. But the fact of the matter is Barcelona are cash strapped, and I don't know if anybody want to argue about that. The first Barcelona offer RB Leipzig. A team for Bianco, okay. We are ready to pay 40 million. Near 10. When in the next 2 years, 3 years, you league me now in the next 5 years, you Champions League me near 10 60. Now 40 million, our first tranche will come in 2025, 2026 season.
Okay.
Which club will accept that? And that is the situation of Barcelona today. And it is not their fault. They've mismanaged things. In terms of finances at the club, they are trying to restructure. And now they start deal no commit team bia. Barcelona 58 no. Till date, they are now still at 1:1 equation at La Liga. That is why Omoto Dani Olmo, they've not registered Dani Olmo. As we speak, Dani Olmo has not been registered at FC Barcelona. So music has some problem in there. Many shows are Barcelona fan. As a how? Other than that, 2 seasons ago, last season, Barcelona were activating economic levers. When in football, and term, they say will be activity economic levers. You activate first one. Barcelona say TV right to in the next 20 years or person turn and Jessica. I'm not sure that's debatable at all. Barcelona have financial difficulties. The good thing is a club of Wabo Brato said you. And still players are attracted to Barcelona. Okay. Other than that, I didn't think Hundogan. Ebe decided say free Manchester City. When Manchester City and your match more offload, or person Bobasa. Players in Barcelona history and culture. And we be much this is a club I want to play before I retire. Okay. That Brazilian boy Rafinha, Chelsea had almost paid the money to Leeds United. The boy said, no, I want to play Barcelona. It's Barca with a goodwill. Something that you can buy with money. Okay. It is the reason players are still attracted to Barcelona. Say yes, they are, and Barcelona have problems. And Barca have current financial problems. If you see the sort of financial engineering, any contract proposals some of them clubs are, most of the players they want to buy now, first tranche of payment will not be made this season. The 2025-2026 football season. And Barcelona have first payment. And a lot of clubs will not accept that because almost in Sika and their replacement. It is Barcelona with difficulties. If you want to buy a player from Basque region, it is as difficult as your money. If you have money, they will back down. Okay,
Newton didn't say they don't move, but it's rather difficult. You see, Andy wasn't able to name over 10. And Isaac is not from that region. He only played there. Okay, Newton said Barca can pay for Nico, but the final decision solely depends on the boy. And it will be difficult for the boy to move due to his region. And truly, he's been vindicated. Okay, Pepe Suarez, they are branch channel. Before Friday, Abba, I don't know. Pepe Suarez, Kuma FM. And you know,
we have just analyzed the fact that Okoto player or Tottenham is difficult. And it's difficult. And unya one single club. Ebrana Marina Granovsky mo manage Chelsea.
Simple no akofo
Marina Granovsky mo manage Chelsea. And I know ratings be by team or ton players do drop Premier League, not Chelsea lead. Nanya by fluke. Player from Winya no ground. They will sell at a price. One real you not buy, but you need the player. It's buying almost difficult for Obi or ton biano. But I just mentioned Jean-Michel Ola. We've mentioned Daniel Levy. Okay. You mentioned Aurelio De Laurentiis. They are all difficult. But once you meet their expectation, the difficulty sika kata so.
I see.
Sika kata.
Yentie wise the way fi Karachi na me kwa wa Muhammad wo na wo so puje nsa wo honom. Wise Karachi okay. Karachi wise also say if Andy is saying Barca doesn't have money and that's why they can't sign players, then where do they get the money to undertake other investments like stadium expansion, buying of players, and other projects the club is embarking on? Okay, I don't agree. Barca doesn't have money, but it's all about financial fair play.
Okay,
financial fair play.
You know, Real Madrid.
Kratchi wise.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Omo move scan. Time omo be stadium. No, omo pay loan, and omo the bay stadium.
Yeah.
395 million euros. And omo the bay the new Santiago Bernabeu. Inti. Basa sika ye kano ye can the omode come market to sign players sika anything come Frankie Dion 450,000 euros in 7 days omunjanaka omutia enti sika ne
there's
dia
an additional 250,000 omutia in taxes enti Frankie Dion is on 600,000
yes plus
600,000 and it is the reason they want to offload it.
Yes, initially crown unse covid the man teen sika you know Frankie Dion sika neso
600,000.
Basa so much on players ka. Emma baby as a central players ka.
Okay.
Emma baby as a central players ka. But when they want to sign Daniel Omo, what was the plan? What was the installment plan? Inti sikani will be a dear can and then say, you know, we are the statement of fact. Basa don't have money. And an issue.
But still
now you say Barcelona. You know, we are an issue of opinion. It is a matter of fact that Basa don't have money.
I support them. Any player can be bought irrespective of your route. It's all about money. Aro nyankomasia hinkro na way and so every
You know,
awa
okay.
Sergio ni nyina ye Bartomeu tam na ni.
So ye Barca for.
Tam ye Barca.
Okay.
Ni nyina ye Bartomeu tam no. But Sergio, the genesis of the problem say Neymar free Barca no. That was the main thing. Because Barca struggled to replace Neymar.
Okay.
Share the players of Mututo, Sika, Dembele, Griezmann, Malcolm, no mutie Sika nyina Sergio no mutugu.
Okay.
At a point in time, now my club no ababe cash strapped. Edu maybe not financing no akwa yasen. That's the reason why Zobeka even last season Barca almost studio bi kwedi o maton studio bi just to make sure so mobe meet the financial demands of company now say approve the registration of the La Liga.
Okay.
That's the reason why even when they buy players they can't register them. So it's true, say we are cash strapped.
Okay. Abono ndo pa honsima edionum mieno Kessben television and when you go so away Kessben 93.3 Kumasi, Kessben 92.9 Accra.